I'm going to show you a really lovely recipe, and it's my take on an American classic kind of open sandwich. Sloppy Joe is the name of it, and it's really a lovely kind of a spicy mince, beef mince in a tomato sauce, and I'm putting in some red kidney beans. I think there's lovely flavour, texture. It's a dish that you can make ahead. A little bit of sweetness, some very interesting flavours I'm going to show you in a minute. So first thing I've done is I've literally browned off the mince. I want to show you the mince that I'm using. So it's 10% fat. You need a little bit of fat for flavour. Board B a quality mark, and this is part of the Simply Better collection, the Irish Angus beef. So this comes from the west of Ireland, Jennings Butchers. They're fantastic people. I've just literally browned it off. This take probably about 10 minutes to do this. So do it in batches. That's a full pack of the mince that I have in there. So the key is when you do this, keep stirring it so you're kind of breaking it down so you kind of separate it. Get a nice bit of colour. So I'm going to put some more rapeseed oil in here. All right. Now, 1 red onion is going to go in there. And just get this. Actually, I'll use the same spoon that I cooked that. And 1 red pepper. This is optional. I like this is a fresh red pepper. It's going to go in there too. Don't be too particular. Don't cut it too small. Don't cut it too big. It's a very, very quick dish. This. So we want to put in some chorizo, and I really like this chorizo here. So this is part of the Spanish collection for Simply Better, and I love this chorizo. This is it here, just literally sliced, warmed up in a pan with some garlic, smoked paprika, and some prawns. I'm telling you, we have it regularly at home. We really, really like it. So I'm literally going to cut it like this, and I'm going to cube it, and then this will release the lovely oils. So using the big knife, it's much easier. Okay, so this is going to go in to the pan. So you'll get that lovely kind of smoky kind of flavour coming through. So chop it nice and not too big and not too small. You don't have to be too particular. Now you can double this recipe, so you can use 2 packs of the mince, more of the chorizo, and you can freeze this. This is a recipe from my new book, Midweek Meals. But it's a very, very simple recipe, but there's lots of interesting flavours which I'm going to show you now. So let's give this a nice stir. I'm not looking to colour it. I'm just looking to get the whole kind of flavour going there. Gorgeous. Okay. All right. So just let that cook away. We're going to put a little bit of chilli. So I have about half a red or green chilli. It doesn't really matter. You can put some harissa spice into that if you want to. So a little bit goes in there. Stir that through. And then I'm going to talk to you about the different ingredients I'm going to put into this. So first of all is tomato puree. This is just a double concentrated tomato puree. So that's about 2 spoonfuls of this. Okay. Then we're going to put in some Worcester sauce. Really, really like Worcester sauce with some mince. So a good splash of that. Roughly about a tablespoon. I really think it's really important. Gives lovely savouriness to the dish. This is an interesting one, some Dijon mustard. So I'm going to put in a teaspoonful of that. Okay. So this is an espresso spoon, so I'm going to put in 2 of those. So it's a smaller spoon, so it is just of the Dijon mustard. I really, really like this cider vinegar. And it's quite an interesting one, because we're going to put some honey and sugar in. So this is where you get the lovely acidity. So this is from High Bank Orchard, and they're an Irish company, so they are based in, or should I say Irish producers, based in Kilkenny, and they're wonderful. So I'm going to put in 2 spoonfuls of this. They also do a beautiful apple syrup. So if you've seen any of my videos cooking some lovely pork or bacon chops with a little bit of the apple cider vinegar and that lovely apple syrup, it's really, really good. This is some honey from Leaven Foods. I'm going to put in a small amount of this. When you put your kind of face over the saucepan, it's quite strong because of the vinegar. So literally a spoonful of that goes in there. So as I said to you, it's quite an interesting combination of flavours. So it is. Now some brown sugar. And when you taste this and you think, God, I've added too much, it's too sweet, add more vinegar. So it's all to your own palate. So I'm literally just going to pop in the sugar, and we're going to stir this all through. Just grab my tea towel. Now, so if you start off this, and then we're going to add in our lovely mince in a moment. Combining it all together. So you have the chorizo, you have the red onion, you can use regular onion, you can use shallots if you want to. In this red pepper, you can use green pepper, it doesn't really matter, you can mix it up. So remember that lovely, good quality Irish beef. The Boar Bia quality mark. This is from Jennings in Ballinrobe, way over the west of Ireland. And we really are so lucky we have such amazing farmers, producers, you know, within Ireland. It's grass-fed, remember that. Now we're just going to combine all this together. A little bit of water, I think. You can use stock. I didn't. I have one already made. I'm just going to get some cold water here. All right. Let's move that down there. And then just, what's that? Roughly have a quarter of a pint of cold water. So just stir this all through here. Now there's one other thing that I'm going to put into this, and that's red kidney beans. So just rinse a can, just pick this up from a local Dunn's in a skillet, put that in there. Just rinse them off, and that's going to stir through there. So you have a lot of interesting flavours, different textures here, but this needs to cook out. So the process for browning the beef will take you about maybe 10-15 minutes. Good hot pan. Kind of do it in batches, you know, because what'll happen, it will stew. You can obviously do it on the bigger skillet pan or a non-stick pan or a casserole pot, whatever you have. And then just scrape all this. So this is what we have here, everyone. I'm going to turn this down. I'm going to let this literally cook. This does need to cook for a good 20-25 minutes. So just let that simmer away. Actually, I want to put on a lower ring just to show you, because that's exactly what I've done with this one here. So this front ring for me is a high ring, and every so often if you just stir it. Now I'll just show you the consistency of this. So if you just go on, have a little look in there. So it's kind of lovely and loose. So that should be really, really melting them out. Now I just need to season this with some salt and pepper. Black pepper. Lovely. You can put herbs into it. I'm not. You can put coriander, a little bit of basil. You can mix it up as you want. And then stir that. So even this here with rice is gorgeous. In a baked potato, it's so nice. So it is. It's going to keep in your fridge for about 4 to 5 days, and you can freeze it. People love to cook like that they can batch cook. I usually put it into little Tupperware containers, label it, and then pop it into the freezer. So just give that a stir. So if we just look one more time at that lovely consistency, the red peppers. Okay, there with the red kidney beans, and just from a can is what I used, and that really nice, good quality mince, I think, is really important. If you don't have tomato puree, you can do this with a can of chopped tomatoes. Works perfectly. So just some burger buns, just literally toasted them just in the toaster, under the grill, whatever way you want to do that. We're literally going to chop a little bit of not iceberg, this is cos, you can use iceberg. So a little bit of salad here. I cut this nice and fine. Just make sure you wash it. You see, I like this salad because there's a nice bit of a texture, even in if you're making a wrap. So this is where you're going to get lots of lovely texture. So a nice little arrangement of that, just on both of these. So if you toast your bun, I'm just putting it on some parchment paper, and then we just literally spoon it on if you want to. I'll just use the same spoon, just give it a final stir. And again, that lovely kind of like soft feeling. See that there? So we're just going to literally pile this just on. It's not the easiest thing to eat for sure, but see with mince in that, guys, it's so good. Really good. Do you know what it is? It's nice and sweet. It's not in any way too spicy. You could put a little bit of curry powder if you wanted into this. You could put also some of the nice harissa. I'm just going to let that fall. And then just a little bit of some cheddar cheese. And this is just so simple. So this is a really nice cheddar cheese. It's kind of like, as we call it, an everyday cheddar. It's from Drina. So it is. It's a peninsula in West Cork, and absolutely from Bandon Co-op. Really, really good. So Drina is it's family farms where the milk comes from, and it's a really, really delicious cheddar cheese. So listen, we'll just grate a little bit just over the top of this. We love this cheddar cheese, even just to nibble as a little snack, and even like for the twins when they go to school, a ham and cheese sandwich. It really is hard to beat. Just for a final little flourish, or whatever you want to call it, just a little bit of chili, which I've just chopped, and this gives a little bit of spiciness. Just put this on top, so that's where the real heat comes in. So how nice does that look? It's simple, it's delicious, it's all about the good quality mince. As I say there, look at, just separate them. You have the lovely iceberg salad. You can put more cheese into it if you want to. So if we look at this again, this is what's bubbling up there. You can put a little bit of water into it, but it does need to cook out, guys. It really does. If you can cook this for about 20-25 minutes, you're going to get this wonderful consistency. And that's it. So that's my Sloppy Joes. It's an American classic. I hope you enjoy this. The key for me is the good quality mince, which I said the chorizo gives a lovely nice smokiness to it. You could use some smoked bacon, but I hope you try this. I think this is a recipe that all the family will enjoy.